You know, every single day, you use a hidden system that decides the fastest way for you to get to work, how your food delivery finds your front door, and even how we respond to natural disasters. It's this invisible layer of intelligence all around us, and today, we're going to pull back that curtain and show you exactly how it all works.
I mean, really think about it. How does your phone know about that traffic jam that literally just happened 2 minutes ago? How does a package travel clear across the country and land perfectly on your doorstep? This isn't magic, you know. It's an incredibly smart system working behind the scenes.
Well, the answer is a technology that's quietly powering everything from the apps in our pockets to some of the biggest decisions that are shaping our cities and our planet. And that technology is called a Geographic Information System, or GIS for short. This is the engine, you guys. It's the thing that connects data to a specific place on Earth, and it is honestly one of the most powerful tools we have for understanding our world.
Okay, so GIS. It sounds a little techy, maybe a little complicated, right? But what exactly is a geographic information system? The core idea is actually way simpler than you'd think. So yeah, if you look up the textbook definition, it's a computer-based system used to capture, store, manage, analyze, and display data. You get the idea. It sounds a little dry. But what it really means is it takes information, any information, and it gives it an address, it gives it a where. It puts numbers and descriptions onto a map so we can see them, question them, and understand them in a completely new way.
And this is the real magic of GIS. It's not just about making pretty maps. It's about asking really important questions. Where are the best spots for new hospitals? Why do more accidents happen on this particular corner? And maybe most importantly, what would happen to traffic if we built a new road right here? GIS is the tool that helps us figure all that out. So here's a good way to think about it. A regular map? That's just a picture. It's static. But a GIS is a living, breathing system. It combines that visual map with layers and layers of data. It gives you analytical tools to find patterns, and it has the technology to bring it all together. It's that combination that turns a simple map into a powerful decision-making engine.
All right, so let's pop the hood and see what makes this thing tick. What are the actual components that make these smart maps so smart? It really all comes down to the system's anatomy and the data that fuels it. So, a complete GIS setup really has 5 key ingredients. You need the hardware, the computer itself. Then you've got the software doing all the heavy lifting. Of course, you need people, the experts who know what questions to ask. And you need good methods to make sure your answers are reliable. But the real star of the show is the data.
And I really can't stress this enough. You need all 5 pieces, for sure. But data is the absolute lifeblood of GIS. Without good, solid data, all you've got is an empty map. So let's break down the 2 main types of data that power pretty much every smart map out there. Okay, so GIS data basically comes in 2 main flavors. We call them vector and raster. The easiest way to get your head around this is to think of vector data as distinct individual things, like drawing a dot for a building or a line for a road. Raster data, on the other hand, is more like a photograph. It's a continuous surface, like a heat map, where every single spot has a value like elevation or temperature. So digging into vector a bit more, it's super simple. It comes in 3 basic shapes. You've got a point, which could be a school or a stop sign. You've got a line, like a river or a highway. And then you have a polygon, which can show the boundary of a park or a city ward. See, they're all separate, clearly defined objects. And then there's raster data. Again, think of it like a digital photo. It's just a grid of pixels, and every single pixel holds a piece of information. This is absolutely perfect for things that are continuous, like elevation from a satellite image, or mapping air temperature across an entire country. There aren't any sharp edges. It's just this continuous blanket of information. Okay, so now that we've got a handle on what GIS is and the kind of data it uses, let's talk about where it shows up in the real world. And honestly, the answer is just about everywhere. On the big picture level, professionals are using GIS to tackle some of the world's most complex problems. We're talking urban planners designing better cities, environmental scientists tracking deforestation from space, and emergency crews mapping out flood zones to save lives. This isn't just about cool maps. It's about making critical, life-changing decisions. But here's what's so wild. That same powerful technology that scientists are using to study climate change, you're using it every single day. Every time you fire up Google Maps, call for a ride, check the weather radar on your phone, or track that pizza delivery, yep, you are a GIS user. Now, what's really cool about all this is that this incredible technology isn't just for big corporations with deep pockets. Nope, you can get your hands on professional-grade tools right now, and it won't cost you a thing. Let's talk about something called QGIS.
So, QGIS, that stands for Quantum GIS, is a seriously powerful GIS software package. And the best part? It is completely free and open source. What that means is that anyone, a student, a small business owner, just someone who's curious, can download it and start doing real, powerful spatial analysis. It's amazing.
Now, you might have heard of another big player called ArcGIS. It's the industry standard in many places, and it's incredibly powerful. But it also comes with a pretty big price tag. QGIS, on the other hand, gives you that same professional power for free. It's open source, which means a huge community is always improving it. A lot of people find it easier to learn, and it has a massive library of plugins. Honestly, for anyone looking to get started, it is an absolute game changer.
And look, learning a tool like QGIS isn't just some fun side project. This is a skill that opens up doors to some really fascinating and in-demand careers. Companies and organizations in almost every field are desperate for people who can think spatially, who can take all that location data and find the hidden stories inside it.
So when you boil it all down, GIS changes how you see the world. It's no longer just a flat map. Suddenly you see it for what it is, a rich stack of interconnected layers. You've got a layer for roads, a layer for elevation, a layer for where people live. And once you start seeing the world that way, well, the possibilities are just endless. So the only real question left is, what are you going to ask it?